All right, everyone, it's the Donovan Live Postgame Show on this Tuesday evening. Betsy Kling is in the house.
Hi.
Hi, my friend.
Hello.
Wonderful. You know the best part about this? I don't have to sit.
I know.
I can stand.
And I don't have, okay, so if you just watch the 7, you may notice I'm wearing different clothing. As soon as the show is done, I'm in pants and tennis shoes.
You gotta be comfy.
So I don't have my big girl shoes, but the moral of the story is I could have worn my big girl shoes and still be next time.
I know. It's, by the way, my personal favorite is whenever you and Sereno are talls and smalls. I love that. That's my favorite.
And the best part is she's wearing her big girl shoes too. I'm not always. We're totally punking you.
Yeah, we're talking about you behind your back, Sereno.
Big girl shoes and a box.
See, we'll get Sereno on here. Thanks for stopping by. It's great to have you.
No problem.
So many things I wanted to get into with you here. This is a week where Jimmy's out in Indianapolis, so we're going to have the as you put it the other day, I borrowed your term, the roulette wheel of co-hosts.
Or smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord, cornucopia.
Yeah, there you go.
First and foremost, weather-wise, are we kind of in a just kind of a holding pattern now here with the, as we get ready for the fall and everything? I feel like we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had to go into storm mode here for a little bit. I mean, as you're kind of tracking things, I wanted to get some weather questions in for you first. But first and foremost, kind of how are we from a weather standpoint?
Okay, so a lot of things deal with hemispheric patterns. So the way that the patterns of the wind circulates around the northern hemisphere. That's important to us because that's the guiding influence for driving storms. It'll form storms, it helps break down storms, and it moves storms. So our storm systems, especially this time of the year, a lot of times they are riding farther to the north. So that jet stream pattern is being pushed north. We have a lot of warm air that comes north our way. We get summertime. That is driven by the sun, okay? When you get into fall, the sun's rays, the sun's energy is fading, and all of that jet stream energy starts to drop
Comes on down.
We're kind of just starting to get into a busy period for us, much like spring is a busy period. Spring is where we do that transition. It's a little bit stingy of us. We like it to happen a little faster, but when you have the warm air impinging on the cold air. This is the cold air impinging on the warm air, which can actually be a little bit worse. And we're kind of in this fall groove where we can go from 90 to severe weather to frost to 80s to severe weather to frost, and it just kind of keeps coming. A lot of people forget one of the biggest tornado threats of our year is in November.
That's right.
It seems we always end up getting some kind of a severe weather outbreak in early November. That's the last hurrah, then we're stuck in winter. So it's a bit tricky.
The technology, has that been, I felt like this past year with the winter storms, you and Michael and Matt and Holly were able to track things even maybe better than before with all the models, and you were able to say, like, okay, if it's this model, we'll get this amount of snow. If it's this model, we'll get this amount of snow. Is that really due a lot to technology and everything in terms of being able to help you guys predict things maybe a week or so in advance?
So the techniques of forecasting haven't really changed, but the data and the models that we can use they're constantly being improved. They're constantly being upgraded. And so we've had a couple really big global model upgrades. There's always people put out the European and the GFS. The European is the European Center for Weather Forecasting, and then the GFS is the American model. And those two models have both had big upgrades in the last year and a half. That has done a lot so far to help out. Anytime you do an upgrade, though, you kind of lose your confidence in that model just a little bit because you're not quite sure where it's going to go. It's almost like getting a new car. I got the same car as I got before. I have, my Chevy Camaro, right? But I got a new Chevy Camaro. So things are in a little bit different place. The buttons are a little different. So you're a little more careful, just kind of double checking things a little bit, and you kind of dance around that for a while.
Yeah, but it's still, it's like you said, the techniques and everything that you've been trained and go back to Bowling Green State University. That doesn't change.
Not so much, but you never know it all. That's the humbling thing about meteorology and weather forecasting. It's one of the things I love. You're never going to know it all.
Right.
I will never, ever get a 7-day forecast perfect. Ever. It's virtually impossible.
Right.
And the beautiful thing is the computers are never, ever going to get a 7-day forecast correct. So it's almost us versus them, meaning the meteorologist versus the computers. Can we out-forecast the computers? And it's just such a huge number of variances and variables, and it's a dynamic, constantly flowing, constantly changing atmosphere that we work in, and the models can't keep up. So we can take hints and clues from the models and make our forecast, and then you kind of go, back in 85, I remember. And you can kind of throw that into the forecast and see how it starts to work out.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this. What made you decide that, you have the personality to be a broadcaster, and people who watch Channel 3 News, I mean, we've seen you anchor here some of our newscasts lately. I mean, you've got the talent to do this, but to be a weather forecaster and be a meteorologist and take that career track, what kind of made you make that move?
So I went to Bowling Green State University.
Go Falcons.
Roll along. To be a 4th grade teacher.
Really?
I did.
I don't think I ever knew that.
BG has a phenomenal education school. It's one of the reasons I went. I was on a track scholarship, and I got there and found out that track in college becomes a job, and I didn't want that, so I bowed out. I wanted a life, and I wanted to have fun, and I certainly did. And I got into the education classes, and it's kind of fun. I always tell kids, and if you've heard me say this, please just plug your ears and roll your eyes, but I always tell kids, how do you know it's not right? Well, it's kind of like putting a T-shirt on backwards. It looks fine.
Right.
But it just kind of doesn't.
Yeah, there's right. Something doesn't feel right about it.
That isn't right.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was. So rather than force myself to stay in that track, I kind of started to think about things that I had done before that I loved, and I had done the morning announcements in high school on television, and I was like, I called my parents and was like, I think I'm going to do the morning announcements for a living. And my parents were like, oh my God.
What's going on?
So I did. I switched to journalism, and it just right away I knew it was a fit. I loved it. I loved the writing. I loved the day-to-day. So I got my teeth in at BG24 News like so many of us did. Producing, Tiffany Tarpley, another Falcon there, but producing shows and reporting for shows. I didn't do the weather at all until my second semester of my junior year. And I tried out for it almost on a whim. Somebody had told me that I should try meteorology as a lab science because it was easy. Somebody at my dorm, and I was like, if it's easy, that's for me. And so I tried it, and I cried at every test. My professor brought me a box of tissues for the final, true story, because I cried. But I fell in love with it, and I just was so fascinated by forecasting side of it. There's some people that their tick is the severe weather part. They just want to know the severe weather, or they have marine or agricultural forecasting, futures forecasting, anything like that. Mine is just trying to get that forecast nailed down, and I just am fascinated by the way the atmosphere all comes together.
And and I know I felt the same way when I was at BG and I was on the radio side. We were in the same building, just
WFAL.
on the FAL and BGU on the same building at West Hall. The fact that there was a place where you could be on the air and you could make a lot of mistakes, but it was college TV or college radio, but you could figure out what works and what doesn't work and kind of develop that craft and that style. People always ask me today about, what it takes to get into broadcasting and what to do. And it's like, that's one thing, find some place where you can have that experience where, you're at a college station and you can figure out what works for you and what makes you tick, so to speak.
And it's kind of fun when, I talk to kids and there's a little, it's a little kind of a pet peeve of mine, but I get asked to do career days constantly, all the time for schools. And I get asked to do career days at kindergarten and first and second, and I'm like, y'all, here's what I want you to do. Play.
Play, yes.
Play and learn your alphabet and learn to add and subtract and multiply and divide, and we'll talk in a few years. I think things are just being shoved down kids' throat way too early. But I think just giving them a full range of experiences And like, I had that experience in high school, and I never would have known otherwise if I hadn't tried it. And I think that's the big thing, is you just kind of have to try. And if there's just that little glimmer, like, gosh, I really do like this, go for it. And you never know. If it's something that you do love and it's your passion, you're in.
Right.
If you don't like it, you can change.
Right.
I mean, so many people go to school, I'm going to be a doctor. And they get to their junior year, their senior year, and they're like, oh my God, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. What am I going to do? And now you're stuck. So don't be afraid to change.
Right. You can always change, but find your passion. That's the best goal. Okay, I want to switch gears now. The other thing, in addition to being our chief meteorologist, you are also the official forecaster of the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, I am.
Yes. And people still want to talk about 2016. I'm not talking about
Terry
2016.
Francona gave me his forgiveness, so.
Well, thank good. Well, there
and
you
the
go.
Dolans, and I literally asked for it too. I sat down with an interview with Tito at spring training in 2017, and I said, all right, we have to talk about this rain delay. And he's like, what rain delay? I mean, he totally just, you can't help anything about it.
No.
And the moral of the story was they had the same 17 minutes that we had. End of story.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
How was the what was the All-Star game experience like for you? Because you had a chance.
It was great because it was sunny and amazing.
The weather was great.
Was
the weather was great, and everything about that week was great. I thought was Cleveland
peaked
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Everything did. I think the neat part was getting to see people's reactions to Cleveland. I love when people come here for the first time that haven't been here. Oh, Cleveland. That's the first thing they say, and you're like, give us a chance, right? And they start to kind of get into the vibe a little bit, and I love to take people when they come here for the first time to other neighborhoods outside of downtown. Cleveland is not just downtown.
Right.
And just show the whole place, right? And they fall in love with it every single time. There's just such a great vibe here.
Yep.
And they say, well, Clevelanders always like roll their eyes and oh, if you can't make fun of my city, but I can. And I say, I call that the Cleveland shade. Nobody's going to throw shade on us like we are, because we're just like, we get it.
Exactly.
All right? We have a great sense of humor about it. We're going to be harder on ourselves than you could ever be, so back off.
Right. I mean, it's the thing. Like, I can pick on you, but nobody else can.
Right.
Nobody else can. I on the show last night, I was talking to everybody about the next year's schedule. They're opening March 26th here at home.
Here at home, and it's Detroit. And then I think, don't they go to Minnesota right afterward?
Yes.
So MLB has it out for us. I think they figure these teams visit a lot. So there's makeup time. Obviously we can't get all the games into domes.
Or on the West Coast.
Or on the West Coast, or South, or any of that stuff. And even if you're South, that doesn't make a difference sometimes if it's going to rain. And so I think that they look for opportunities where the teams are close in proximity. It's a quick flight, and they have multiple times and opportunities to make up games if they have to in both locations.
Gotcha.
All right. It's a hard decision to make. When I start talking with them about rain delays or postponing, they call it banging the game.
Right.
Which for the first year I was like, what? Bang what?
Oh,
I don't understand. No, you bang the game. Okay, fine. Whatever you were talking about. But that conversation starts early in the day, and they will never make a call about a rain delay or postponement before the game. It's exceptionally rare that they would. Like, if we're in the remnants of a hurricane, they'll make the call.
Right.
But they will wait because it's Cleveland, and you know how it is. Sometimes it'll just vaporize, and we're good to go. And so they start that process early in the day, and literally it's the team sitting down together across the table from each other and talking about how would we make this up? Can we do a doubleheader? When do you have an opportunity in your schedule to fly here? And they're on the phone with MLB constantly. MLB, especially in the second half of the season, has their hands in everything.
Right.
So even then, the Indians are kind of taken out of it.
Because like last week with the Rangers, if you don't play that double, if you decide to bang the game, and they do that in the minor leagues too. So I mean, you're exactly right. That term, that was the first time I ever learned it too, when I was doing minor league baseball. But in the Rangers weren't coming back. So if you can't play a doubleheader the next day, then all of a sudden you have to find either an off day for both teams between now and end of the year, which is very tough, obviously.
And you have to make it up at the ballpark where it was supposed to play.
Or you have to play you know, it's almost like playing game number 163. You have to play on the Monday after the
Right.
season ends. So, which gets to be so challenging. So, but so many people were like, I think when the game was postponed last week, people are like, wait a minute, what are they doing? What are they? You know, I don't get it. But it worked out. But it worked out well.
Both teams made that decision.
Yeah.
So
and that's
everybody looks
good.
at me,
That's good to know.
It's not raining now. It's like,
Right.
slow your roll. You know, the teams are going to make their decision, and once they make that decision, it's done. And you know, we obviously had a great opportunity. We played 2 full games the next day. Good games, and we just kind of made that decision that it was in everybody's best interest at that point to just go ahead and slide into a double.
There you go,
Yeah.
my friend.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Thanks
popping
having
up.
me
It's great
on.
to have you on here. And, you know, first things first, you and Mike Polk working together. I'm a
Thanks.
I mean, just the laughter coming from the set
He's
back here into the
hysterical,
newsroom
and
was great.
he-
I've enjoyed the shows with you.
He allows me to be dorky, and you know, he laughs when I make bad jokes, and I laugh when he makes amazing jokes. So it just kind of works out great.
Your jokes aren't that bad.
They're not that great either.
Well, we can't all be Mike Polk. We can't all, you know, that's true. But the Donovan Live Postgame Show, let's remind you, is brought to you by our friends at Master Pizza, and we are going to have pizza in here. What kind of pizza do you want? I can remember.
I honest to God, I do like sausage and bacon and the works that way.
All right. Mike, sausage, bacon. We'll talk about it. But Master Pizza is our sponsor. Remember, you download the Master Pizza app and you start earning pizza points today. That's all from Master Pizza. Taste above all. For the great Betsy Kling, I'm Dave DeNatale. Thanks for watching the Donovan Live Postgame Show on WKYC's Facebook Live and on YouTube.